Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Krishna Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Panchatattva Shri Shri Gaura Nitai ki jai. Śrīla Prabhupāda ki jai.
Hare Krišna. Hare Krišna, dragi bhakte, lepo pozdravljeni spet na nedeljskem festivalu. Začeli smo z bhajani pod vodstvom bhakta Jana in glasbeno ekipo. Na Mridangi je bil bhakta Jagannath, na flauti Jagat Prabhu in glasom Haribol za našo glasbeno ekipo. Haribol. Zdaj pa je na vrsti predavanje. Predaval bo naš znani gost, njegova svetost, Prahladananda Swami. Mislim, da ga ni treba posebej predstavljati. Je učenec Šrila Prabhupade in se je gibanju pridružil že v zgodnjih 70 letih. Ima veliko funkcij v skupnosti in je vsa ta leta zelo aktiven. Njegovo predavanje pa bo imelo naslov Enaka vera v Šrila Prabhupada kot v Gospoda Krišno. Potem po predavanju bo duhovni ples, Gaura Arati, sledila bodo obvestila, vegetarijanska pojedina in pa po prasadamu je še program Plus z Lalita Govindo Prabhujem. Torej, na Vyasa sam vabim in pozdravljam njegovo svetost Prahladananda Swamija. Hare Krišna. Kdor ne razume, ker bo predavanje v angleščini, si lahko priskrbi slušalke. Za prevod pa je tudi poskrbljeno. Bhakta Marcel? Boš ti? Okay. Ja, je že, ok. Redo.
Narada Madhava Jaya Kunda Bihari Narada Madhava Jaya Kunda Bihari Narada Madhava Jaya Kunda Bihari Kopidana Balava Grivadari Jaya Grivadari Kopidana Balava Jaya Grivadari Jaya Kopidana Balava Grivadari Jaya Grivadari Kopidana Balava Jaya Grivadari Jaya Yasodanandana Radharanjana Jaya Radharanjana Yasodanandana Jaya Radharanjana Jaya Radharanjana Yes Yasodanandana Prahladananda Jaya Prahladananda Yasodanandana Jaya Prahladananda Yasodanandana Prahladananda Jaya Prahladananda Yasodanandana Jaya Prahladananda Jaya Prahladananda Yamuna Giravachari Jaya Kunja Vihari Yamuna Giravachari Jaya Kunja Vihari Yamuna Giravachari Jaya Kunja Vihari Yamuna Giravachari Brahmacharya Asadharasatushi Shiman His Divine Grace Shalasi Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupāda ki jai Gaur Premanande Slava Zvrani Bhakti Slava Shri Guru Shri Gaur Brahmaki Oma Gyanatimanandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chaksur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamaya Jati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuddha Parakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Scha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vidam Tam Sajivam Sarvaitam Savadutam Purujana Saitam Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakham Svitamscha Hey Krishna Karna Sindhu Dinabandho Dagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Siddhadevi Pranavami Hri Priye Panchakapa Drubhyascha Kripa Sinu Vyevascha Vajranam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krišna, Hare Krišna, Krišna Krišna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Today I'm going to speak about Śrīla Prabhupada as the founder Acharya and how we develop faith in Śrīla Prabhupada and what it means to have faith in the founder Acharya. In the introduction to the Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada mentions about what kind of faith we should have in Krishna. In other words, as I repeated before, the Prabhupada starts his introduction to the Bhagavad Gita that the Bhagavad Gita is also known as the Gita Upanishad, which is the essence of all the Vedic literature. And one American lady asked him to recommend an edition of the Bhagavad Gita in English, and Prabhupada said that of all the 600 or 700 different commentaries on the Bhagavad Gita, Śrīla Prabhupada could not recommend any of them, because none of them, he said, touched on the spirit of the Bhagavad Gita. And the spirit of the Bhagavad Gita is that if we want to take a medicine, that we have to take it according to the recommendation of an expert physician or according to the label on the bottle. We can't take it whimsically according to the recommendation of a friend who's not a knowledge of medicine. So in the Bhagavad Gita, the essence is that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and this is explained or confirmed by great personalities such as Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya, Sankaracharya, later on by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and by Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur. They all confirm that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and this is also explained in the books such as Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, because Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, everything he says must be perfect. Otherwise, if God makes mistakes, then what kind of God is he? Especially since he claims in the Bhagavad Gita, he knows everything that happened in the past, everything that's happening in the present, and everything that's going to happen in the future. So if you know all those things, it's pretty hard to make a mistake, unless you do it on purpose. Now, out of all the opulence that Krishna is supposed to have, beauty, unlimited strength, unlimited wealth, unlimited fame, unlimited renunciation, and unlimited knowledge, the only real access we have to judge Krishna by is his knowledge. Now, the reason why we probably want to read the Bhagavad Gita is because, according to the Bhagavad Gita, each one of us has an eternal relation with Krishna. And that relation is going on right now, right in our heart. It's not that it's something we're going to develop, it's something we have to develop, but it's not like something that we're developing that's not there already. In other words, everyone at every moment throughout our existence, which is eternal, which is a long time, every moment, all of us relying upon Krishna for remembrance, for knowledge, and for forgetfulness. And Krishna knows each one of us perfectly. He knows exactly every species of life we've been in. If we want to know when we were a frog the last time, we can ask Krishna. And he even knows what type of insect we were, or fly, when we entered into the last frog mouth. So he knows quite a bit about us. Things that we probably like to forget right now, but he hasn't forgotten. So how do we judge? Because we have to see whether his knowledge in the Bhagavad Gita is perfect. Now, most of it we're not going to be able to figure out, or we have no experience of. When Krishna says, in the beginning of the creation, he sends forth all living beings. Now, most of us are not going to be able to remember that when we were suddenly sent forth from Mahavishnu into the creation again. So those things are beyond our perception. They're beyond more or less our comprehension, most of the Bhagavad Gita. But three things within the Bhagavad Gita are within the range of our ability to understand. Not only understand, but directly perceive to one degree or another, either by our intelligence or by our personal experience. One of them is that we're not this body. Although it's always repeated again and again, it's always nice to remind ourselves. I remember when I first joined the movement in 1968, actually we had no books. We had Prabhupada's 3 Srimad Bhagavatams, and we had some Bhakti Guideheads written by the devotees. And we didn't even have a Bhagavad Gita. So Prabhupada was the center of attention because Prabhupada had the potency to capture people's attention. And therefore we didn't talk about Bhagavad Gita when we were in Krishna consciousness. We talked about Prabhupada. But the one thing we had from the very beginning, the only verse I heard for at least 6 months or something like that, was as the embodied soul continually passes in this body, from boyhood to youth to old age, so similarly the soul will enter into another body at the time of death. A self-realized person, he's not bewildered by all these different changes. So the fact is, that's directly perceivable by us. Although Maya is always causing us to forget it, or not to pay attention to the fact that we're eternal. Therefore, she tells us what to worry about all the time. All our concerns, what we lost, what we're going to gain, all these different problems that we think we have, which have nothing to do with our real self, because we had some similar problems in our last lifetime, and if we told you that you were a millionaire in your last lifetime, but you lost all your money, it wouldn't make any difference to you right now. But when you were a millionaire in your last lifetime, you lost all that money, it was a big deal at that time. But now we don't really care because it's not our money anymore. So similarly, this lifetime, what we're so concerned about, everything that's going to happen from us from the material point of view, because we do have to worry about from the spiritual point of view. But from the material point of view, all our so-called gains and all our so-called losses in our next lifetime, believe me, we're not going to worry about those anymore. So we have to try, at least during all this worrying, all this concern, all this struggle, try to find a space within our consciousness where we'll worry about our real selves. In other words, we have to have compassion, first of all, for ourselves. Poor thing, you're in the material world. suffering material existence, and you're just about to leave your body, and you don't know where you're going. So we should be compassionate to our poor selves and try to understand where to take shelter so we can actually get some relief from our problems. And here it's advertised, theoretically, that we all have a relation with Krishna and he can actually help us. Now, why will Krishna help us? Why did he help Arjuna? So Arjuna had said in the Bhagavad Gita, first of all, Krishna says in the 4th chapter, there's a parampara who's speaking this knowledge. And now I'm going to speak it to you, Arjuna. Why? Because you are my devotee as well as my friend. Now, we call ourselves devotees, but actually the question is what we're devoted to sometimes. It's not always, throughout the day I don't think we see a picture of Krishna and we just swoon unconscious. Or we're thinking, oh my God, there's no prasadam today, I lost all my money, they kicked me out of my house, but really what I'm feeling is separation from Krishna. That's called a devotee. But at least we have to become Krishna's friend. That when Krishna gives us an instruction, or Krishna's representative gives us instruction, the first thing we shouldn't think that comes to our mind is, I don't want to do it. Try again, Krishna. You got the wrong one this time. At least we should become friendly to Krishna, thinking, well, he's actually a nice person. Maybe I should try to listen to him. Try to do something on his side. So if we have that attitude, we're trying to become Krishna's friend and trying to become Krishna's devotee, then we have to understand we know very little, because we don't even know we're not this body. We don't even know who we are. What to speak, we don't know this body. We don't know who doesn't know he's not the body. We don't even know who we are. It doesn't say that with all our degrees and with all our different expertise and whatever else, we don't even know who we are. So at least Prabhupada says, theoretically, we should accept that Krishna might be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That we don't really know perfectly, at least. Hopefully we have some experience, that's why we're here, because we've heard from Krishna, or we've heard from his representative. We've tried something. We've tried prasadam, we've tried the chanting, we've read some of these books, and therefore it seems, in law they have what's called beyond a reasonable doubt, and that's for criminal law. And then, let's say the preponderance of evidence, clear and convincing, and beyond a reasonable doubt. So preponderance of evidence, there's more evidence on the side that Krishna might be God than he's not. Then maybe the devil's in control or whatever. There seems more evidence on the part of Krishna being in control around here. But I don't think we've come up to the point, most of us, preponderance of evidence, clear and convincing. We're still trying to become convinced about Krishna consciousness. And what, beyond a reasonable doubt, that's like 90%, 95% sure that Krishna is God. Yeah. That may not be so 100%. When the car is just about to approach us, and some devotee was talking about he was in difficulty, and at that time of difficulty, the last thing he thought about was Krishna. So he was a little bit shocked, the fact that he couldn't think of Krishna at the time of great difficulty. Just like these big airplane pilots, they have this black box in the airplane, and when the airplane is about to crash, it's all recorded what the pilot says. And according to statistics, most of the time the pilot cries out, "Mommy!" So he's taking shelter, but mommy can't help him at that time. But at least, everyone has to take shelter in something or someone. So to take shelter of Krishna, we're trying to learn how to come to the platform, as it says in Sharanagati, from the platform of accepting things that are favorable, giving things up that are unfavorable, believing that Krishna will maintain us, that Krishna will protect us. This is advanced level, coming to the Madhyama Adhikari platform, the more advanced level of Krishna consciousness. Krishna is our maintainer and Krishna is our protector. So that's based upon our experience. If we go out in book distribution, or we preach, or we do anything in devotional service, and we rely upon Krishna, then see if Krishna will actually reciprocate with us. I remember standing out in Houston, Texas, 1971, trying to distribute books to what's called the rednecks. Rednecks in Texas, the type of people that when they saw we were in dhotis and had a shaven head, their first impetus was not to take a book, but to find a rope and string us up. That was their first, get rid of these. As a matter of fact, the first time I went out in book distribution in Dallas, Texas, with two other devotees, as soon as we went door to door, the police came and arrested us, put us in jail, and charged us with impersonating women, because we had dhotis on. And that was, they probably would have strung us up if they, except there was a little restraint on their part. Luckily, the lady who came to testify against us in court couldn't recognize us because it was at night. We went door to door at night. She recognized the dhotis, but she didn't recognize our faces. So they let us go. So the point is that faith is not blind faith, but it's based upon our experience. And that's what moves us forward. Now the question is, Yasya deve parai bhaktir tata deve tata guru tasyaiti prakashante mahatmana. That we're supposed to have equal faith in Guru as in Krishna. Now, many of us have initiating gurus. We're trying to develop faith in them also. But the source of their instructions and the source of why we're all here is Prabhupada's instructions. And we're here because of some other instructions. That's all right, because we have prasadam also. But generally speaking, most of our faith comes from following Prabhupada, or someone who's following Prabhupada, their instructions, who's repeating the same instructions as Śrīla Prabhupada would have given, or is giving through them. Now, how to develop faith in Prabhupada? Now, there's 4 qualifications, or 5, of being an Uttama Adhikari, what to speak of a founder Acharya. Nectar of Instruction, verse number 5. The first one is they've assimilated all the knowledge. In other words, when they look around, they don't just see bodies, male, female, whatever. They see what's said in the Bhagavad Gita. They're actually perceiving that. Vidya vinaya sampane brahmani gavihastini shuni chaiva swapake cha pandita samadarshana. They're seeing everyone as a spiritual being with the super soul accompanying them, directing them. Now I have personal experience, to one degree or another, according to my capacity at that time, that I could see that Prabhupada could actually see who I actually am. And I could see that Prabhupada was on some platform way beyond my conception. The first time, one time when Prabhupada he walked up the stairs in Boston Temple, and suddenly it was a Shri-Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada's disappearance day, 1969, and suddenly the whole temple turned into Vaikuntha, at least for me and the other devotees there. And Prabhupada sat on the Vyasasan and looked at me, and he could see exactly who I actually am. So, the idea that Prabhupada could actually see things as they actually are, I had a little bit of experience. I couldn't see perfectly, but I saw that he was on a completely different platform that I was on, and it was a spiritual platform. So that's the first qualification. And the second is, when they chant Hare Krišna, Krishna is personally present there along with the spiritual world. Now, in order to understand that, we have to be able to listen to Śrīla Prabhupada chanting Hare Krišna. And according to him, if we chant to Krishna like a child calling for his mother, then Krishna will come. Like a mother who's in love with her child will come for the crying child, will come to take care of the child. So I could hear, eventually after 50, almost 60 years now, trying to hear Prabhupada chanting, I could hear a little bit that he's actually chanting like a child calling for its mother. So I have some faith based on that he's actually realized that there's no difference between Krishna and his name, because at least when I chant Hare Krishna, most of the time, I'm not like a child calling for its mother, and therefore mother doesn't come. The next thing is he's realized his spiritual identity. Now that I don't know, because I don't know what Śrīla Prabhupada's spiritual identity was, but I could see he was acting according to at least being a servant of Krishna. There was never a time that I associated with Prabhupada, or I ever heard about Prabhupada ever doing anything outside of trying to help others and become Krishna conscious and working for Krishna himself. And the other thing is that every thought, every deed, every word was directed towards spreading Krishna consciousness. So that we can judge for ourselves by reading his books, listening to his conversations, hearing devotees' activities with Prabhupada, that he was completely dedicated to convincing people that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So these are the qualifications of a Mahabhagavad. Now, even within our society, there are devotees who still have their conceptions of Śrīla Prabhupada. Everyone says, we're surrendered to Prabhupada, but exactly which Prabhupada they're surrendered to sometimes is questionable. Now, this point was raised because a lot of doubts were raised when Prabhupada was here, because he had a perfect audience to doubt whatever he was doing. They weren't exact. Although we conceive of the good old days, everyone was so surrendered. They did whatever Prabhupada wanted. Well, that wasn't the ISKCON I joined. If you think we have problems now, I had problems, and I had problems dealing with all the people who had problems too. But they had faith. To some degree or another, by Prabhupada's potency, he created a movement practically, seemingly out of nothing. So even now, we have devotees who have questions about Prabhupada. Who is Prabhupada? What is his instructions? How relevant they are? Why did he say things? And I was there for some of the things he said, which I won't go into all of them, but we'll go into some of them. We don't have, but so these questions were asked to Prabhupada because those who were a little bit more articulate. When I dealt with Prabhupada, I was a little bit more shy. I asked personal questions, and I didn't really get into any kind of doubts. And I wasn't intelligent enough to have doubts back then. And I had enough experience that I didn't really think that I had to figure out what my doubts were. But anyhow, Duhovni Swami, in a conversation with Śrīla Prabhupada and a morning walk, I don't know, this is, it doesn't even say. Let's see if anyhow, at least I got to this page. They know everything, they're perfect in everything, but sometimes from our mature viewpoint, we see some discrepancies, just like we think that. He's talking about the Acharya. I remember one time there was one of our leading devotees was giving a class, one of our initiating gurus, and one boy walked into the class and he pointed to the devotee on the Vyasasana and said, "You told me he was perfect, but I see he has glasses on. So how can he be perfect?" So he left the class because he didn't want to listen to an imperfect person. Or as I said, Indra Maharaj, he was telling me one time he was in Russia, and one devotee came up and gave him a big donation. So Indradyumna Maharaj said, "Thank you very much. What's your name?" And the devotee said, "Guru Maharaj, you don't know what my name is?" So Indradyumna Maharaj said, "No." He said, "I'm not omniscient." So the devotee was shocked. He said, "What? You're not omniscient? Guru Maharaj, can I talk to you later?" In other words, our idea of perfection is not necessarily a perfect idea of what perfection is. So the question is, the Acharya, what is his perfection? So Prabhupada, because material viewpoint, the viewpoint is wrong, therefore you find discrepancies. In other words, if we don't like the Hare Krišna movement, we don't like Prabhupada, we don't like these teachings, what are we doing here? What are we trying to accomplish? On the other hand, who is Prabhupada and what is he giving us and what is his perfection? Why do we say he's perfect? Why should we listen to him unconditionally? Unconditionally doesn't mean without using our intelligence and inquiring our doubts, that's not unconditional. We're not blind followers. But nor should we make absurd inquiries irrelevant to what we're actually trying, what is the aim of this movement, what's the purpose of it. Jayadvarta. So we should think that we have the defect. So that's quite an advancement. Prabhupada, yes, Acharyas explained Bhakti Samashanat, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila 113. One who's preaching the call to devotional service, he's Acharya. Then why should you find any discrepancy? In other words, this Hare Krišna movement is, the only purpose of the Hare Krišna movement is that people become conscious of Krishna. That's it, in case you didn't know that. It's not meant to teach people how to become perfect psychologists, investors in real estate, marriage counselors. It's simply meant to help people become conscious of Krishna. And one who knows the science of how to become conscious of Krishna, he can teach others how to become conscious of Krishna if that's what they're trying to do, is to become conscious of Krishna. So that's the Acharya. That's called Bhakti Samshana. That's a verse about Advaita Acharya, how he helped people become conscious of Krishna. By bringing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and by dancing, chanting in the Sankirtan movement. That was the only thing he was doing. So Jayadvarta, just see, for instance, sometimes the Acharya may seem to forget something or not to know something. So from our point of view, if someone has forgotten that is Prabhupada, no, then Jayadvarta and imperfection. Prabhupada, that is not then you don't understand. Acharya is not God, omniscient. He Advaita, Jayadvarta, and that is a perfection. Prabhupada, that is perfection, Hare Krišna. Jayadvarta, so we have a misunderstanding about what perfection is. Prabhupada, yes, perfection is here, how he is preaching Bhakti Kol, that's all. So Prabhupada, he seemingly said things which were socially unacceptable, socially incorrect, politically incorrect, they say. But he did it according to their audience. He knew exactly, because he was a manifestation, actually the super soul, so he knew exactly how to present Krishna consciousness to give people the greatest opportunity to take up the path of devotional service. Now, not everyone was equally receptive immediately, but he gave people the chance to take up Krishna consciousness. Now, that may have been different things under different circumstances, but that was a strategy. If he had to talk about, I remember one time, one of the times I got a chance to walk with Prabhupada and hold an umbrella over his head in Dallas, Texas. There's a video of it. I'm not in the video, though, Prabhupada is. I have a picture of it, though, working with Prabhupada. So, Prabhupada sat down and the woman reporter, because they always sent women reporters to talk to Prabhupada at that time, because Prabhupada was he got fame of being against women's liberation. So there's Chicago, this was in Dallas, there was always a women report, they always sent women reporters. So the women reporter went into, what is a hippie, most of your devotees are hippies, what is a hippie? And Prabhupada said, well, Prabhupada said, you know more than I do. Because there's always these challenging questions. And then she said something about, you say that women are less intelligent and that they should be subordinate to men. And Prabhupada said, well, they are subordinate to men. He said, you're always going, women, you, pointing at her, you're saying, take me, I'm your servant. So this made the headlines, of course. So the question is, why did Prabhupada say that? Why didn't he say something a little bit more diplomatic? Because he wanted Krishna to become famous. He wanted something that would, headlines. Swamiji says women are less intelligent than men. If you were to explain something, first of all, whenever Prabhupada talked to reporters philosophically, they never wrote down the philosophy. It was always, we met the devotees, they had these shaven heads. And that's one woman reporter in Chicago. She said, Swamiji, why do men shave their heads? And he said, because, he said, why do you have these bare legs? Because she was in a mini dress. In Chicago, it's cold. He said, better to have a cool head and warm legs. So Prabhupada wanted people to hear about Krishna, and to do that, he had to say things sometimes which were more or less would raise some kind of something extraordinary. The woman reporter in Chicago, in Dallas, she said, "What is a hippie?" And then Prabhupada said, "Something extraordinary." So they had these one-liners that always made the head. That's all they wrote. They never wrote about how we're not this body or Krishna is God or anything like that. There's always some kind of quote by Prabhupada that created some kind of desire for them to express it, to broadcast it. So Prabhupada said many things that did different audiences, but the essence was that he wanted people to eventually become a little inquisitive about Krishna. So one could take it out of a context. Prabhupada said women are less intelligent, but they also said men in this age, they're also less intelligent. Everyone's less intelligent. And less intelligent doesn't mean they can't be lawyers or doctors, which is the real concern. What do you mean? I can't become a doctor. I can't have a career because Swamiji says it. No. It means that they don't understand that they're not their body. It's more difficult. When one Mataji asked Prabhupada, she said, is it true, Prabhupada, that women are less intelligent? So Prabhupada's response was, if you think you're a woman, then you're not less intelligent. And if a man thinks he's this body, he's a man, he's also less intelligent. So Maya is an equal opportunity employer in Kali Yuga. Kalo Sudra Sambhavda. As Bhakti Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, in Kali Yuga, everyone is born as a Shudra, and by modern education they become less than an animal. So everyone is equally qualified to become less than an animal in Kali Yuga by modern education. So my point is, we have to read Śrīla Prabhupāda's his books and hear his conversations in context of what he was trying to do. He loved everyone. He loved the women, he loved the men, he loved the blacks, he loved the whites, he loved the Russians, Indians. He didn't discriminate. But he had to preach according to time, place, and circumstance in order to capture their attention. Sometimes he didn't necessarily disagree with everything that they say. Immediately they said something, negative, and immediately you jumped on it and say, wait a second, they're not their body. For the last thing, I use the example I used before. When I first went to Houston, Texas, we had devotees like this, it was 1971. and we had to distribute books. And finally we got these blue Bhagavad Gitas, and then we got the Macmillan Bhagavad Gita. And trying to distribute books in Texas was, we weren't so expert, and the culture was not exactly ready for the Hare Krišna movement necessarily. Young people more than others. But anyhow, we decided we'd go to Vidor, Texas. Anyone ever hear of Vidor, Texas? Anyone ever hear of the Ku Klux Klan? That's the headquarters for the Ku Klux Klan, in case you're interested. I can give you the address, I have it. So we go there to distribute Bhagavad Gitas. And obviously we didn't go in dhotis and tilak, and we put on hats, because we didn't want to get strung up from a tree. That was one of their rituals, cleanse, keep Texas clean, get rid of the. So we went there in, a little disguise, and we distributed Bhagavad Gitas, and that was the most receptive place in Texas to buy Bhagavad Gitas, because all you do is have to be friendly with the people. They had no philosophy. And we just be friendly, talk about their family. How many kids do you have? I got 3 kids. Wow, you got a good family. You make friends with them right away. What kind of work do you do? I'm a janitor. Wow, are you a good one? Just be small talk and friendly, and they'd all buy Bhagavad Gitas. So if we would have went there and said, my dear sir, you're a member of the Ku Klux Klan, your philosophy is exactly in ignorance, you're going to get hell, you don't understand that everyone has a soul, the blacks have a soul, the animals have a soul, give up your bad habits. I wouldn't be here to talk to you right now. But when we had the right approach, then people actually took to one extent or another, they participated in the Hare Krišna movement, knowingly or unknowingly. So Prabhupada was expert at that. That's just one little example from my experience. That it's necessary to sometimes preach according to time, place, and circumstance, according to the audience, in order to help them make some progress in devotional service. So I'll stop there. Thank you very much. Any questions? So my final word is that we have to try to develop, not artificially, but try to understand Prabhupada's instructions, his morning program, chant Hare Krišna, hear Śrīmad Bhagavatam Bhagavad Gita, worship the deities, serve the devotees, and try to make the atmosphere spiritual in our homes, and go outside with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan movement and spread Krishna consciousness. If we have faith in those instructions and try it out, that means we have faith in Prabhupada. Prabhupada said that one lecture, he said, if you get up for Mangal Arati, then you're serving the lotus feet of Śrīla Goswami, who has instructed us to do that. So if we just do these simple programs in devotional service, it means we're serving the lotus feet of Śrīla Prabhupada also. Question?
Yes, Maharaj. So our understanding is that whatever we are doing, we are actually trying to increase their sukriti, and when they have enough sukriti, Krishna will inspire them to become devotees. So it's, when you said this example in Texas, it's you're not gonna convince them to become devotees, but because of the sukriti of taking kita, participating in the yagya, hearing maybe not hearing the holy name, but we are just trying to increase their sukritis and everything. In
that particular case, obviously, I didn't try out when I was in Vidor, Texas, too much preaching, because it was a tight-knit community, and the word would have spread really quickly that the Hare Krishnas come here trying to make us into Hindus. Wouldn't be very effective. But other people are more intelligent sometimes, and we preach to them much more directly. It depends on time, place, and audience. People who take the books out of curiosity, who take prasadam, knowing it's prasadam, who appreciate the holy name, that's more than sukriti. That's transcendental advancement. Yes?
Hare Krišna Maharaj, I vaguely remember that you once asked Šrila Prabhupada how to attain the level of bhava.
Yes.
And that he answered that you should continue distributing books. Is that true?
No, what happened is I was sending Prabhupada whatever we collected from selling our Bhagavad Gitas at that time. We didn't keep anything for the temple, we just sent all the money to Prabhupada. And I was the treasurer, so I would always write him letters and ask him questions. So in one letter he wrote me back, because as I said, when I joined the movement, Krishna gave me for a long time actually, for some time, some transcendental experiences. And I didn't know how to put them because we didn't have any books to figure out where they fit into the whole continuum of Krishna consciousness. So we had one book. We didn't have Bhagavad Gitas at that time. We only had Srimad Bhagavatam, but it was hard to read the Srimad Bhagavatam. The language I couldn't really understand sometimes. But we had one book in the temple. It was called the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. It was hidden. And my temple president told me that I shouldn't read it. So when everyone went to sleep at night, I'd get up and I'd read the book. Because I wanted to find out why he told me I shouldn't read it. So I got up to the 19th chapter, or 18th, 17th, where it talks about bhava turning into prema. So I was reading, I was trying to understand, because I didn't really know. I had some experience, a little bit of, happiness or ecstasy, whatever else, and ruchi, whatever. So I wrote to Prabhupada asking at the end of the letter, how does bhava turn into prema? So Prabhupada wrote me this letter back about how I should go out and distribute back Bhagavad Gitas. That was the first paragraph. The second paragraph is that the boys and the girls, we just had Rath Yatra in San Francisco, and 10,000 boys and girls were dancing and chanting in full spiritual ecstasy. That the boys and girls in your country are generally good souls. That's why they've taken birth in such a good country. And if they simply engage all their good opulences in Krishna's service, that will make their life perfect. And then Prabhupada wrote, I heard that in New York in just 2 weeks they've distributed 3,000 back to Godheads. And in Buffalo you're also distributing back to Godhead very nicely. So please continue in this way and your success in life is assured. As Krishna sees you're working seriously to bring his other children back to the spiritual kingdom, then he'll bestow all his blessings upon you. That Krishna is never ungrateful for our efforts to serve him. And then the other side of the letter, Prabhupada said, as far as your question goes, how does bhava turn into prema? There's no need for yourself to become too concerned about these things at the present time. But this explanation will come out when my book called Nectar of Devotion comes out. You can read about it there. And then at the end of the last thing he said, you said you enclosed $50 for my book fund, but I don't find any money enclosed in your letter. Don't trust the post office. Okay, we'll stop there. Thank you very much. Śrīla Prabhupāda ki jai. Samaveta Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Gaur Premanande.
Prahladananda Swami Maharaj ki
Jai. Thank you very much.
Kiva Jaya Jaya Gaura Chande Arati Koshoba Kiva Jaya Jaya Gaura Chande Arati Koshoba Jana Vitata Jagamala lo Sakine Nitai Chaha Vame Gadadhara Nikate Advaita Śrīla Vasa Chhatradhara Koti Chandra Jini Padana Ujvala Koti Chandra Jini Padana Ujvala Kala Deshe Vana Mala Kore Jalamana Shiva Shuka Narada Megha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare
Prabhupada Paramahamsa Prabhupada Asatara Siddhi Shri Shriman His Divine Grace Shri Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupāda ki jai. ISKCON Samstavakacharya Śrīla Prabhupāda ki jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Prabhupada Asatara Siddhi Shri Shriman His Divine Grace Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Śrīla Prabhupāda ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Shri Rup Sanatan Bhadraganath Shri Ji Gopala Dasraganath Shat Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Pramjgo Shri Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Pranityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Shri Radha Kṛṣṇa Gopa Gopanath Shyamakun, Radhakun, Giri Govindam ki jai, Mathura Dham ki jai, Vrindavan Dham ki jai, Mayapur Dham ki jai, Navadvip Dham ki jai, Jagannath Puri Dham ki jai, Ayodhya Dham ki jai, ISKCON Ljubljana ki jai, Gandamai ki jai, Jamunamai ki jai, Srimati Bhakti Devi ki jai, Srimati Tulsi Devi ki jai, Shri Panchatattva ki jai, Shri Gauranitai ki jai, Gaur Premanande Haribo, Slavas of Rani Bhaktam, Slavas of Rani Bhaktam, Slavas of Rani Bhaktam, Slavas Shri Guru, Ishi Gaurangi. Namaste Narasimhaya. La la da daine. Hiranya Kashi Purvakshaha Shilatam Kana Kalaye Ito Nishingha Pato Nishingo Yato Yato Yamitato Nishingha Bahir Nishringo Hridaye Nishringo Na Shringa Madim Sharindam Tapaye Tabaka Kamala Bhaye Nakam Adhuta Shringa Tarita Hiranya Kashipu Kanu Bringa Keshavakita Narupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Lakshmi Nrsimha Bhagavan ki jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, Gaur Premanande Haribo.
Hare Krišna, dragi bakte, samo še malce pozornosti, obvestila bodo kratka. Rada bi samo najavila obiske. Obiskal nas bo Kṛṣṇa Gosvami, prišel bo v juniju, v začetku od 6. do 10. junija. Potem nas bo v juliju obiskal Bhakti Prabhava Swami 1. do 8. julija in Deva Dharma Prabhu pride tudi v juliju 8. do 14. julija. V tem času bo potekala tudi padajatra od 30. junija do 18. julija. Več podrobnosti bo še v nadaljevanju, imamo še cel mesec, da vas privabimo k sodelovanju padajatre. Zdaj pa še za hvala vsem baktam, izpostavila bom samo nekatere, ste pa vsi seveda sodelovali s petjem, poslušanjem, skratka vsi smo vdano služili v tem popoldnevu. Za ozvočenje bi se še posebej zahvalila Madhava Mišri Prabhuju, za prevod Markandeja Rishi Prabhuju, za ikebane na oltarju in cvetne vence Nataka Chandrika Mataji, Dharmakšetra Prabhu, Bhaktin Anja in Bhaktin Sabina. Danes so za božanstva skuhali učenci Jayapataka Swamija. Program Plus pa bo imel Lalita Govinda Prabhu. Danes vas lepo prosimo tudi še za prispevek za prasadam iz srca, bo seveda zelo dobrodošel. Tisti, ki pa ste danes prvič v templju, imamo za vas sladko presenečenje in se lahko oglasite pri meni. Zdaj pa še molitev pred prasadamom. Sharira vidya jal, Chandriya tahekal. Bhagavad prasadam ki jai. Dober tek in se spet lahko vidimo naslednjo nedeljo. Nasvidenje. Hare Krišna.